All right, good morning. Let's come to order and go on the record, please. I'm Charlotte Mitchell, Chair of the Utilities Commission, and with me this morning are the following commissioners. When I call your name, announce your presence. Commissioner Brown Bland, Commissioner Clodfelter,
Good morning.
Commissioner Duffley, Commissioner Hughes, Commissioner McKissick.
Present.
All right, in compliance with State Government Ethics Act, I remind members of the commission of their duty to avoid conflicts of interest and inquire at this time as to whether any member of the commission has a known conflict of interest with respect to matters coming before us this morning. The record will reflect that no conflicts have been identified, so we'll proceed with public staff electric item P1. Mr. Thomas, you're up.
Good morning, commissioners. My name is Jeff Thomas. I'm an engineer with the Public Staff Energy Division. Item number P1 is docket numbers E7 sub 1169 and E2 sub 1170 is a motion to modify Duke Energy Carolinas, DC, and Duke Energy Progress, DPs, collectively Duke's, Green Source Advantage Program to align the GSA facility eligibility criteria with the recently approved North Carolina Interconnection Procedures, NCIP, Definitive Interconnection Study Process, otherwise known as Q reform. Under current GSA facility eligibility criteria, a potential GSA facility must have a completed system impact study report prior to submitting a GSA program application with a prospective GSA customer. Under Q reform, the system impact study report is no longer necessary to demonstrate project readiness. To align the GSA program with Q reform, Duke proposes to modify the GSA program to allow potential GSA facilities that have signed a definitive interconnection system impact study, or DISIS, agreement and either paid the initial security deposit or made the readiness milestone 1 payment pursuant to NCIP sections 4.4.1 and 4.4.5 to be eligible to proceed to a GSA term sheet with a prospective GSA customer. Duke also requests that potential GSA facilities can become eligible for the GSA program by committing to enter the Transitional Cluster Phase 1 process by meeting all NCIP Section 1.10.2.1 readiness requirements. Duke notes that while this initial Transitional Cluster Study Phase 1 process does not require the same level of project readiness and upfront financial security as DISIS Phase 1, Duke states it supports this transitional cluster eligibility criteria as non-discriminatory and appropriate for the one-time transitional cluster process. Duke's motion states that the Carolina Clean Energy Business Association does not object to the proposed modifications. No other parties to the GSA dockets have filed comments on Duke's motion. The public staff also sent this agenda item and proposed order to the service list for both dockets and did not receive any response. The public staff recommends that the commission enter an order modifying the GSA program eligibility requirements for prospective GSA facilities by 1, aligning the GSA program with readiness commitments under the future definitive interconnection study process by allowing interconnection customers that have met the readiness milestone 1 requirements and entered DISIS Phase 1 to be eligible GSA facilities, and 2, during the initial transition period, allowing interconnection customers that have entered either the transitional serial process or transitional cluster Phase 1 study process to be eligible GSA facilities.
All right, thank you, Mr. Thomas.
Move approval of the recommendation.
Second.
All right, it's been moved and seconded that the recommendation of the public staff be approved. Any questions or discussion on that motion? Hearing none, I'll call the roll for a vote. Indicate your support with an aye and your opposition with a no. Commissioner Brown Bland,
Aye.
Commissioner Clodfelter,
Aye.
Commissioner Duffley, Commissioner Hughes,
Aye.
Commissioner McKissick.
Aye.
And for the record, I support the motion as well, and the motion carries. All right, thank you, Mr. Thomas. We'll proceed now to public staff electric item P2. Mr. Floyd, I believe you're up.
Good morning. I'm Jack Floyd with the Energy Division. Item 2 is a filing by Duke Energy Progress requesting approval to extend their nonprofit low-income weatherization pay-for-performance pilot through June 30, 2022. Without the extension, this 3-year pilot would conclude at the end of this year. Duke Progress is requesting the extension to allow them to continue offering the pilot until the evaluation of the pilot is completed and a decision can be made to either continue or terminate the pilot. The public staff has reviewed this request and recommends that the commission issue our proposed order approving the extension of the nonprofit low-income weatherization pay-for-performance pilot as requested.
Move approval of the recommendation.
Second.
All right, it's been moved and seconded that the item be approved as recommended by the public staff. Any questions or discussion on the motion? All right, hearing none, I'll call the roll for a vote. Indicate your support for the motion with an aye and your opposition with a no. Commissioner Brown Bland,
Aye.
Commissioner Clodfelter,
Aye.
Commissioner Duffy, Commissioner Hughes,
Aye.
Commissioner McKissick,
Aye.
and for the record, I support the motion as well, and the motion carries.
Thank you.
All right, thank you, Mr. Floyd. All right, we'll proceed now to public staff, electric item P3. Mr. Williamson, you're up.
Good morning, Commissioners. I'm Tommy Williamson with the Energy Division Electric Section. Item P3 is an application for renewal of a certificate of public convenience and necessity to construct a solar facility. The public staff has determined that the application meets the requirements for a certificate and recommends that the Commission grant the requested certificate. Thank you.
Move approval of the recommendation.
Second.
It's been moved and seconded that the item be approved as recommended by the public staff. Are there any questions or discussion? All right, hearing none, we'll call the roll for a vote. Indicate your support for the motion with an aye and your opposition with a no. Commissioner Brown Bland,
Aye.
Commissioner Clodfelter,
Aye.
Commissioner Duffy, Commissioner Hughes,
Aye.
Commissioner McKissick,
Aye.
and for the record, I support the motion as well, and the motion carries. All right, thank you, Mr. Williamson. The commission has before us for approval our minutes from the October 25th staff conference. I'll take a motion.
So moved.
Second.
All right, any questions, discussion on the motion? All right, all in favor of approving our minutes indicate with an aye.
Aye.
Is there anyone opposed? All right, minutes from October 25th are approved. All right, before we adjourn this morning, any additional business for the commission? All right, hearing none, we will be adjourned. Thank you very much, everybody, and let's go off the record, please.